Natural resources available for production is known as land. We would now look at the characteristics of land. Land is a free gift of nature. Land is not the outcome of any human labor, rather, it existed even long before we came into existence. The total quantity of land does not undergo any change. It is limited and cannot be increased or decreased with human efforts. Thus, it has fixed quantity. The supply of land is inelastic. Inelastic supply means any change in price of a good or service does not result in a corresponding change in its supply. Supply of land is thus inelastic. More land cannot be produced in response to the greater demand for it. Whatever the rent, high or low, for the use of land is, the supply to the economy as a whole remains unchanged. In other words, the supply of land to the entire economy does not depend on the price, which is the rent for its use. Number 4, the payment for land is rent. Economic rent is a payment made for non-produced inputs. Land is a non-produced input as it already exists in the world. However, someone would own the land and rent is paid to use this land. And number 5 would be it is the primary factor of production. In any kind of production, we have to start with land. For example, in industries, land helps to provide raw materials, and in agriculture, crops are produced on land. And the number 6 one would be it is a passive factor of production. This is because it cannot produce anything by itself. For example, wheat cannot grow on a piece of land automatically. To grow wheat, man has to cultivate the land. Labor is an active factor in the production, but land is a passive factor of production. Number 7 would be there is limitations of mobility. Imagine there is a gold mine in South Africa. It cannot be shifted to Sri Lanka. Hence, there is limitations. Number 8, productivity can be increased in land. So even though the quantity is fixed in land, but through the proper use of land and trained labor, we can increase the productivity of land. In the next video, we will look into much more details about labor.